you say the Niners should not trade Aaron Rodgers. You're also very bullish on Brock Purdy. But you also think the Niners should keep Trey Lance. Explain why you think they should keep Trey Lance.
Okay. Let's start real simple. Now, are we making a bet on this?
We will, but that's the next
Okay,
one.
that's
Let's
the
talk
next
about
one.
what you think they should do.
Okay. Right. What they should do is keep Trey Lance. And I want to give some reasons. We have not, meaning the world, has not determined that he's a bust. All we've determined is that he got hurt. And before that, they didn't play him a lot. We don't know anything about him. I assume there were reasons they drafted him. I think it's possible he may be a hell of a talent and could turn out to be a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. So what I'm saying is, they got Brock Purdy, they got Trey Lance, and they got Sam Darnold. That, as it's a sports cliche, but that's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have three really good quarterbacks, if Darnold is good, or three potentially good quarterbacks, and to let them work it out. That's not a bad problem. That's a good thing. So why would you get rid of one of them to make it simpler or easier in accounting in your account books? Why would you not, at least while Brock Purdy is hurt, why would you not let the two other guys compete with each other in training camp and in the preseason? I don't see that there's anything to gain by getting rid of a potentially great player. It seems hasty and short-sighted to me. So I don't like it. In addition, because of the way the Niners have handled him, he's had very little exposure in the league. I don't think they can get a lot for him. I mean, I heard you and Ryan talking about they could get a second and a fourth. No way. They're not going to get it. No.
That's what they're
no
asking
way.
for, reportedly. But
Yeah.
they're not going to get that. No.
No. They'll be lucky to get 1/3 or 1/4, Iggy. So for that, why would you let him go? You could let him go later on. If Sam Darnold kicks his ass in the preseason and in training camp, you could let him go then. If he proves that he's not made any advances, that he hasn't learned standing on the sideline, because there's a lot you can learn, but at least give him the chance. What do you think?
Right. I mean, if you could maybe get a first-round pick for him, maybe I could understand it, because you need a starting right tackle. There are some starting players you need, but also if Brock Purdy weren't injured and had been playing for a couple, if they had a legit answer at quarterback and they knew it, and they felt he's played for a few years, he's who we want to commit to, then you don't need multiple quarterbacks. But they don't have that.
No.
They don't have that at all. So instead of what they're doing, which is pretending like they can read the future, predict the future, and like they can evaluate all three quarterbacks based off this little sample size, they say Brock Purdy's the guy, he's the leader. Just let it play out. Just be honest that you don't know. That each one has played, one's played 4 games, one's played 8 games, one has been an utter disappointment in the NFL for 50 games. Just say we don't know. And we'd like to keep all three because we feel all three of them have major potential, and it will play itself out. That's the best way to handle it.
You know, if they were to say that, I think a lot of people would respect it.
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know. That's part of what we're trying to do, as opposed to we know. Well, they also knew with Jimmy, and how did that work out?
Yep.
It made him
They
look
also
foolish.
knew with Trey. They also knew with Trey, right? They knew with Trey so much that they traded 3 first-round picks to get him.
Right.
Same thing. Yeah.
So I would say absolutely let it play out, and it makes the Niners seem brave and transparent.
Agree. As opposed to delusional. Delusional.
And bullshit artists.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
Because I don't believe anything they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying Brock will be fine and he'll be back. Man, why don't you wait until that happens before you trade Trey Lance?
I think so.
You know?
And
let it
again,
happen.
why would you even be thinking of trading Trey Lance? Give him a chance. You never gave him a chance.
You never gave him a chance. You don't have Steve Young. You don't have Drew Brees. You have Brock Purdy, who's had a good couple of months. That's nothing.
It's nothing. And as efficient and as good as Brock Purdy is, and believe me, I love that story.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to be an elite quarterback. I don't. He's going to be a hell of a good quarterback, but he's not going to be an elite quarterback. He's going to be maybe Phillip Rivers at that level. I don't think Phillip Rivers was elite, but he was exciting. He was good. They're different kinds of quarterbacks, but I don't think he'll rise above that. And here you have Trey Lance, who could be like Patrick Mahomes.
Right. The whole idea is take a guy with an unlimited skill set like Steve Young.
Yeah.
Commit to developing him and see what he blossoms into. Like Steve Young wasn't ready right away, but the Niners committed to the process of developing him, and he turned into an all-time great quarterback. And it's like if Bill Walsh had given up on Steve Young after a couple of appearances, you know what, this guy sucks. Let's just go with Steve Bono. Like, okay, really? You sure?
Right. And in fact, Bill, who was brilliant about football, saw in Steve what no one else could see. Probably no one else in the league could see. And he did, he would never answer. If you would ask Bill, who was a better quarterback, Joe or Steve, he would never answer that. I think he believed Joe was, but that's my guess. He never told me, but he always said Steve was the best athlete at quarterback he ever coached. That's how he answered the question.
I could see it. I mean, and his passing numbers were as good as anyone's ever. I think he led the league in completion percentage 4 or 5 times. He was a great passer on top of being the best athlete Bill Walsh ever coached at the position. And I was talking about this with Ryan yesterday. I feel like if Steve had played today in this era where you really can't touch the quarterback and the offenses have evolved to sort of use the quarterback's legs a little bit more and safely, he would be even better. And I don't know about, you could say that about that many athletes, that they'd be even better in the future. He would be, I think.
Yeah, I think probably he's an all-time top 10 quarterback. If he played now, he'd probably be an all-time top 5.
Yeah, he didn't even play in his 20s. He had to wait, and then he got to wait so much. Yeah,
he had to wait a long time behind Joe, and it was very interesting. He was a gentleman. There are some guys who talk to the media behind the scenes and say, I'm really pissed. And he never said that to me or to Ira. Now, he may have said it to coaches, but he never said it to me or to Ira. He was a team player.